Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will be comparing two different Sony zoom lenses. We have here the Sony 75 to 300mm for Sony A mount cameras and the Sony 70 to 300mm for Sony E mount cameras. Both have the same aperture of 4.5 till 5.6. The Sony E-mount lens has a minimum focus distance of 19 cm and the A-mount lens has a minimum focus distance of 1.5 meter. The biggest difference between these two lenses is that the A-mount lens was released in 2006 and the E-mount lens was released in 2016. That means there are 10 years between these two lenses. Of course, the E-mount lens had a lot of advantages. You have here a focus hold button. It is weather sealed. One of the biggest advantages is that this lens has an image stabilization. You can also turn your autofocus to manual focus with this switch here. And you can turn your OSS on or off. But this A-mount lens has also a lot of advantages. It has a weight of 460 grams and this big boy has a weight of 854 grams. That means this lens is almost 400 grams and 50% lighter than this lens here. This lens has a length of 122mm and this has a length of 144mm. We have a filter spread of the A-mount lens of 55 and on the E-mount lens of 72. The biggest advantage, you can get this lens for 50 euro. You can get this lens on Amazon currently for 1000 euro. That means this lens is 950 euro cheaper than this lens. Of course, there are also some downsizing. There is not weather sealing here on this lens and you have no image stabilization. What I will do now is to test both lenses with my 42 megapixel Sony A7R III. I will use an adapter that I bought from Amazon for 15 euro. Unfortunately, the adapter is manually, so I can't test the autofocus. However, it works very well on my old A-mount camera, as you can see, and this camera has only 12 autofocus points. I'm sure that this lens would work even faster in autofocus with an LA EA4 or 5 adapter, which you can buy for around 150 to 200 euro. But I take my comparison photos manually anyway, therefore it doesn't matter for the test. Okay. Let's switch to the side-by-side comparison between these two lenses and see which lens is really better. Back on our side-by-side comparison, what you see here is on the left side the Sony A-mount lens with 75mm and on the right side the E-mount lens with 70mm. I've used for every picture the same aperture of 7.1 and I've set the ISO on 100. And of course, as I've mentioned before, I've set the focus point every time manually on both lenses. At the first look, both images looks good. Maybe the E-mount lens is a little bit brighter, but let's zoom in the mid frame. Okay, yes, the E-mount lens is here, of course, sharper. But if we're going up, that's not so much difference anymore. Let's go to the edges. Okay, here you see the difference. The E-mount lens is much sharper. Yes, of course, on the wide end. Oh. Yes, on the wide end, the E-mount lens is very sharp, and you see also here a lot of purple fringing. But on the mid frame, there is not so much difference. Let's go on 100mm. Okay, on the first look I can't see any difference. The E-mount lens has warmer tones here. Let's zoom in. Oh. Okay, here the clear winner is the A-mount lens. Wow. Look at this. The A-mount lens is so much sharper. Let's go up. Wow. Look at this. Look at this sharpness here. And I didn't twist these both images. And of course I took several images and took the sharpest image that I can get out of all the images. Let's go to the edges. Wow, look at this. At 100 mil, the A-mount lens is so much more sharper. Wow, can't believe it. Okay, let's go on 200 mil. Here the same that we have saw on the last pictures. Of course the E-mount lens is a little bit warmer here. Let's spot on the first look. Both looks good. Let's zoom in. Okay, on 200 mil, maybe let's adjust it a little bit. Yes, on 200 mil on the mid frame, the E-mount lens is sharper. Let's go to the edges, but on the edges, the A-mount lens, it's, no. The E-mount lens is also sharper on 200 mil, but not that much. Again, both are very close, as you can see. Wow. And remember, there are 10 years between these two lenses. Let's go on 300 mil. Okay. Let's zoom in. Okay. I think both looks similar. Yes. I can't see any difference. But maybe here, I think the A-mount lens is sharper. Yes, of course, look at this. Look this comparison here. On the longest end, the A-mount lens is definitely sharper. Wow. Crazy. Look at the sharpness here. Good. In the next minutes you will see the portrait comparison between both lenses and the video quality comparison. See you later. Welcome back. Wow, did you expect such a result? I honestly not. I'm really impressed that the sharpness of both lenses are very comparable, especially because there are 10 years between these two lenses here. Of course, the older A-mount lens can't keep up with the A-mount lens in every point. The 70-300 has many important advantages, such as stabilization, the better autofocus or the weather resistance. But I think if you are not a sport or wildlife photographer and you are on budget and you do a lot of tripod photography, the Sony 75-300mm could be an alternative, especially with a price difference of 950 euro. What do you think about these two lenses? Please write it in the comments down below. It would be very interesting for me to hear your point of view. If you like this test, I would be also appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.